Ooh, welcome back to another episode of the Get Back Coach, presented by Apollo Media. Oh, we have one more week in the regular season left. But before we get into rivalry week, one of the best weeks in college football, in sports, Jay, tell them who we are brought to you by.
Jake, as has been the case all season, super thrilled to be partnered with BattleBets for this college football season. If you're wondering what BattleBets is, it is college football fantasy gambling. That's right, it's fantasy gambling, so 100% free, only for college football. The perfect way to prove your college football knowledge to your friends by placing bets on spreads, over/unders, money line props, just to show that you know ball better than your friends. Again, it's 100% free to play. Doesn't cost you any money to play. So it is the only way to gamble responsibly because it's not actually gambling. And if you want to join the fun on BattleBets, be sure to tell them that we sent you. Download BattleBets and let them know that the Get Back Coach is your refer in the ambassador section. Jake, it's the last week of the regular season. We're already here.
It is. It comes. We say it every episode. It just absolutely flies by. You have to take advantage of every single weekend, every single game. And we are going to start off with last Saturday first. And we're going to start on the West Coast. Oregon beats USC 42-27. DeCorian Moore out for the Ducks. But Malik Benson, Jay, picks up the slack. Oregon wins on the ground game, Jay. 179 rushing yards to USC's 52. That has been the Achilles heel for that Trojan defense all year long. And USC 0 sacks on the day.
Yeah, and Oregon being able to rely on their rushing game as much as they did is a big factor in that limited sack number. We thought USC had maybe overcome some of their issues in the trenches with the win over Iowa. That doesn't appear to quite be the case at the elite levels of the sport, as Oregon's able to control this one. It's not like USC got completely blown out, but it felt like there was never a doubt in the result here. Oregon took the lead early and felt like they just controlled the game for the whole of the contest.
Yeah, I mean, this was close for a little bit. I am super impressed with Oregon all this year with their rushing attack. It looked good against Penn State, even though they didn't cash in some of those touchdowns. But they looked very good. I like this Oregon team, and Jay, this Oregon team's young.
Yeah.
This team is young. And I think with USC, yeah, we talked about the trenches. I think the other thing is even when they pressured Dante Moore, they couldn't get home. And that I think is huge. Dante Moore, he's an elusive guy. He's very difficult to kind of get your hands around. And USC was not able to get him down for a single sack. Only 2 tackles for loss in the entire football game. But yeah, Oregon, late second quarter, you could see it. It's starting to kind of the momentum turn their way. And then they pretty much won this one handedly. USC made it a game, but this was all Oregon in the second half.
Yeah, just a strong performance, and I feel like this pretty much punches Oregon's playoff ticket. Obviously, if something weird happens at the end of the season with Washington, we'll keep an eye on that. But this was the signature win that Oregon needed after everything that has happened so far this season. They point to the lack of a strength of schedule. Oregon getting the win over USC does a lot to get rid of some of those doubts.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Moving on, probably the premier SEC game of the week.
Yeah, and SoCon week.
Yeah. Oklahoma beats Mizzou 17-6. And the biggest question, Bo Prabula played?
Yeah. Dislocated ankle, comes back in 4 weeks to play in this game. Gotta admire the toughness of him. I have to assume that it was a clean dislocation. I'm not a doctor by any means, but the only way. Yeah, the only way you come back from a dislocated ankle to play in the same season is if you got really lucky with the interior damage there. Honestly, just glad to see him back. Didn't look like 100%, obviously, nor should you expect 100% out of a guy bouncing back from a dislocated ankle only 4 weeks down the road. But yeah, I think the story of this one is the Oklahoma defense. The OU defense is just strong. We know how good they are at creating negative plays, leading the country in sacks. They had 4 in this one, 8 tackles for loss. Brent Venables, fantastic defensive mind.
Mhm.
This is what you expect out of a team coached by him. And Mizzou just really couldn't get anything going offensively.
No, they really couldn't, Jay. And I think Mizzou settling for 2 field goals, I think, is the difference there. Oklahoma gets 2 touchdowns, Mizzou getting 2 field goals. And Jay, how about this? Stat of the year. Oklahoma is perfect in the red zone. They have not, or they have always come up with points when they get in the red zone. That right there is a winning type of stat right there. I also would like to dive into, and I don't have them in front of me, how many times they make other teams settle for field goals.
Yeah.
Because that right there is a winning recipe. If you score in the red zone and you hold the team to field goals in the red zone, that's a winning recipe to Brent Venables right there. But yeah, you talked about Bo Prabula coming back. Yeah, did not look great. Even in the beginning of the year, Jay, he's not a quarterback that's going to stretch the field. He's going to RPO, dink, dunk. He just didn't look comfortable. He got smoked a couple times running. Like, he just didn't have that power behind him.
Yeah, didn't have the power, doesn't have as much speed as he normally does. And you're playing against an Oklahoma defense that is known for its speed
Good.
and ability to chase down quarterbacks when they try to scramble. So not a real surprise there. Just kind of a bad matchup for Mizzou in this one. I think Oklahoma had the keys to shutting down their offense. Ahmad Hardy still very, very impressive as a running back, but just not able to get as much going as you'd like if you're Mizzou. And this Big 8 game in the SEC ends with OU on top.
Yeah. One last thing. I hate Oklahoma's uniforms in this one. I hate them.
You like the classic look.
What? Of course I like the classic. I mean, you're Oklahoma. Like, you have that classic red and white look.
Crimson and cream, brother. Crimson and
cream. Like, maybe throw a little bit of that charcoal, maybe on like maybe a trim, or maybe like a little trim with the charcoal. But yeah, especially for this class. You said a Big 8 game. Why do that for that? I don't know.
I think the split zone duo guys had a take, and they said that there's not a good gray uniform in college football. I'm inclined to agree. I don't think the gray looks good.
I don't know. It doesn't.
I can't name one that really sticks out to me as a good gray uniform.
Maybe that's something we need. We're going to clip this. If you know a good gray uniform in college football, reply to this tweet. Reply in our comments section, because I want to know if there's a good gray uniform. All right. Now we have to talk about something that I don't enjoy.
Pitt bounce back.
Pitt bounce back. I said on the show, I hate this line. I said on the show, like, Pitt, like, I look at this line, Pitt, 2.5-point dogs in Georgia Tech, and you think to yourself, why is this? Yeah. So Pitt in this football game dominates the first quarter and half of the second. Pitt absolutely dominated the beginning of this football game. Like Georgia Tech made a pass at their wife. Like, they came out with their hair on fire.
They realized they couldn't lose this game by 100 and still be in the playoff.
Yeah. Like, they smoked them. And then Georgia Tech settled in. Georgia Tech did settle in. And then as Georgia Tech is looking to go in, cut this game to a touchdown, they throw a 99-yard pick six. Braylon Loveless. That was by the way, our Saturday play of the game that we are now doing. Georgia Tech still trying to fight back, but just couldn't do it. Also, a huge day for Ja'Carrion Turner. Desmond Reed, Pitt's second best player on offense, is out, and Ja'Carrion Turner, absolutely great day. But yeah, Pitt wins convincingly to shake up the ACC.
Yeah, and this is part of the problem with Georgia Tech. It feels like they've been playing with fire all year, kind of putting themselves in dangerous situations, and you knew it was going to come back to bite them at some point.
Mhm.
Came back to bite them in a big way at home at the Dodd. Pitt was able to take advantage, and now this shakes up the ACC title picture quite a bit,
Oh God, yeah,
which
and
we'll get into.
we will be talking about, yes, very very soon. Jay, this is the one that you told me that I needed to check out because I gonna be honest, I was asleep while this game was going on, so I did wake up early on 8:30, like on Saturday, like I usually do, to watch some of the games that I missed. Utah beats Kansas State in a shootout, 51-47. Jay, Joe Jackson for Kansas State.
Kansas State, yeah.
Kansas State, 293 yards. Kansas State had 472 yards on the ground. Usually, when we see shootouts like this, usually it's through the air, lots of passing, NASCAR offense. Dude, this was all on the ground for K State. Utah, a little bit more balanced, but Kansas State in their running game, and they still come up short and in a throwing the game away type of fashion. Interception, fumble, Utah fights back. Jay, they were down what 10 points with 12 points with 7 minutes to go, and they came back, and Utah came back to win.
Yeah. I mean, playoff hopes on the line for Utah. Couldn't afford to lose this one. Massive comeback, really, really big for the Utes. Kansas State, this is just kind of an indictment of how their season's gone, right? We talk about the Irish curse, right? The losing team in Ireland to kick off the year. Things don't tend to go well for them, and that's been the case for Kansas State. They still have a shot at bowl eligibility to close out the season, but obviously a disappointing result here. This is kind of the game that we expected to be for the Big 12 title going into this one. These are the two teams that I had picked going to Arlington. Utah still kind of has an outside shot at it, but Kansas State's in a very much different place than we expected. Still, you have to give credit to Joe Jackson for that performance, which you highlighted, Jake, and you have to give credit to Utah for what they've been able to do. I think this back half of the season, after the loss to BYU, has been just a testament to their grit, to their toughness. You don't know how much longer Kyle Whittingham's going to be the head coach there at Utah, just because it feels like he's setting up to make his exit. But they're trying to send him out strong, and this was a big win for Utah to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Yeah. We're going to get into some scores from other games. Friday night, UNLV beats Hawaii for the Golden Pineapple in the Island Showdown. Huge for UNLV.
Yeah, it keeps their Mountain West hopes alive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
James Madison beats Wazoo 24-20. Better than Ole Miss. Larger margin of victory than Ole Miss. Ole Miss
but
beat them
a
24-21.
much less margin of victory than the team that they're looking at in the American in North Texas, who smoked Washington State earlier this year. Have to wonder if the committee's going to take that into account when it comes down to the end of the season between the American and presumably James Madison winning the Sun Belt.
Yeah. Speaking of the American, Tulane beats Temple 37-13. Thought Temple would put up a little bit more of a fight. Listen, Temple Owls are 5-7. We'll be 5-7.
I think they're 5-6.
They're 5-6 right now. So I think they have North Texas last.
Yeah.
I forget. No, North Texas last. I thought this game would be a little bit closer. I do think Casey Keeler has done a great job with Temple this year.
The fact that this program even has a pulse is a testament to how good the Casey Keeler is a coach. Temple is 5-6, so they would need to beat 10-1 UNT to get to bowl eligibility. And obviously UNT has their own
they have to play for
items
something
to play for. Yeah.
That's the thing. Temple, we were talking about Temple being there's the rumor that they were going to close down football 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And this is how far we're going. But yeah.
So big turnaround. Sticking with the American, UTSA at home appears to be a completely different team than UTSA on the road because they smoked East Carolina 58-24. That probably does it for the Pirates' American championship hopes. They needed some help to get there anyway, but now with this loss, I think they're pretty much out of contention. UTSA still fighting for bowl eligibility. They'll need one more win here at the end of the season to get there, I believe. And I'm going to double check that. But man, have you seen a team that is so much better at home compared to on the road in the college ranks?
I
Like
mean,
this is wild. And
we've
sorry, UTSA is actually already bowl eligible.
yeah,
That win over ECU got them
right.
there.
I mean, we've talked about home field advantage with certain teams. I think the G5 we don't talk about it as much, and UTSA is just looks like a completely different team at home. I have no idea what they're putting in the water, in the river, maybe of
Yeah, the
Silvertone.
Riverwalk. They got
Is
some kind
there?
of voodoo.
Yeah, exactly.
Riverwalk voodoo.
What is going on underneath the Riverwalk that has the runners just looking like a completely different team at home? Yeah, good for them, and don't know what's going to happen between them and Jeff Traylor. That's a storyline we're going to keep our eye on. But ECU eliminated from the American Championship.
Yeah. In the Big 12, BYU beat Cincinnati 26-14. BYU is in control of their own destiny when it comes to the Big 12 title game. Feels like the Cougs are going to be getting that rematch with Texas Tech in Arlington. But yeah, I mean, physical game. You expected it to be low scoring the way these two teams have played lately. I thought Nippert at night may give Cincy the edge. I was wrong.
Yeah, BYU scores a little bit late to kind of put the game away. Also, Cincinnati students. It's not cool to disparage someone's
faith,
so to say. I know everyone makes, we all make our jokes about some of the things that happen on BYU's campus, and it's all good, light, and fun. That is not. Come on, be better. Be better. Yeah. Disavow, Jay. We disavow.
We disavow it. Speaking of disavowed things, I guess Texas beat Arkansas 52-37. Sure, whatever. Arkansas hasn't been able to play defense this year. Their offense is really good, but nothing happened on the defensive side of the ball. I feel like Arch Manning is actually starting to develop into a better passer. I don't think he's the guy that Paul Feinbaum said at the beginning of the year, but it has been good to see the improvement out of this offense. They still struggle to run the ball, which is concerning long term. But I feel like Arch is a guy that if you keep him upright, he is a good quarterback. And it's obviously like Arkansas's defense is not the big test, right? Like Arch is going to get a bigger test this week. But it's still, you want to see growth, and I've seen growth out of Arch this season.
No, definitely. Again, like we said about Mr. FB, about how that was kind of, it was a bad thing to say about Arch because like he was still going to be developing, but we are seeing growth. We are seeing those things, and Arch has looked better, and he's going to continue to look better next year. Just protect him, go through progressions. He's a kid. He's still learning. But no, listen, Jay, we're going to talk about it later. Texas, man, I don't know. It's looking, they're looking good, looking better. Speaking of teams looking better,
Wisconsin.
Where has this come? Where did this come from?
2 ranked wins in 3 weeks, Jake. 2 ranked wins in 3 weeks for the Badgers.
Incredible. I for sure thought Illinois was, Wisconsin on a hangover. No, Wisconsin, man, beats Illinois 27-10, controlled pretty much this entire game. Does keeping Luke Fickell, did that take the pressure off a little bit?
Yeah, maybe they're playing a little less uptight.
Maybe. I mean, good for the Badgers.
And they're playing Wisconsin football. They're winning games 27-10, 13-10.
Yeah.
Like this is the brand of Wisconsin Badger football that Luke Fickell tried to do away with, much to the chagrin of the fans in Madison and much to the detriment of the program. Now you're getting back to playing this physical brand of football, low scoring, run the ball, and it's working. And sometimes you just got to know what the identity of a program is and be able to build your program around it. And I still think Wisconsin has a long way to go to get back to what they were. But it feels like this back half of the season, or the last 3 weeks at least, have been a step in the right direction.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Here's another surprising one. Maybe not surprising again.
I think the size of this one is surprising, for sure.
Jeff Brom giveth, Jeff Brom taketh away. SMU just boat races Louisville in Dallas. Is it Dallas technically?
It is University Park technically, but
Okay.
it's Dallas. It's like
That's
a
like saying Penn
completely
State.
enclosed
Yeah.
enclave. Yeah.
It's like Penn State's University Park, but it's like it's State College. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So SMU beats Louisville 38-6 in a whopping. Like they whooped them pretty good from start to finish. SMU, I mean, kind of quietly, they're back in the ACC
They're in the
title
driver's
race.
seat.
They
If they
are
win
in the
out,
driver's seat.
if they win out,
Again,
they're in it.
I know we're going to break that down very, very shortly. But yeah, SMU, like I feel like everyone counted them out early and they're right back in it.
I mean, it may be an indictment of the ACC this year that SMU, with losses to Baylor and TCU, who have not fared well
Yeah.
in the Big 12, is controlling their own destiny en route to the ACC championship game. But that's not really. I mean, that's part of the beast of college football.
Yep. And this next one, not a fun game. I started and I said, I'm not going to finish. I'm not fit. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm not finishing this. Notre Dame, in the largest butt whooping of a lifetime, beats Syracuse 70-7. Here's the thing, Jay. Syracuse is playing a lot of young guys. They are playing a lot of young guys, and eventually, I hope it pays off for Fran Brown and company. But I think Fran Brown's just like, why? I'm gonna play young guys. I'm gonna play guys who want to be here. And if I'm gonna lose by 60 points, so be it. So I kind of almost respect it.
We'll see if it works out.
Well, we will see. But in apps, I had plus 35 because I didn't think, okay, like Notre Dame's offense, can they even score 70 points against the Power 5?
They didn't need it.
They did not.
They didn't need the offense because they had those turnovers early in the game. I mean,
yeah,
that's how fast the game can slip away from you.
Yeah, I was in the tailgate lot, and I took Syracuse plus 35.5, and someone's like, Notre Dame's up 46-7 at like half. It's like it's the second quarter. I'm like, oh, I think I lost that. I think that's a loser. All right, Jay, let's get into who is in the hunt. But first, we got to talk about the ACC because I think this is the most intriguing race out of all of our power conferences here. The two teams in the driver's seat are Virginia and SMU. Okay, it is Virginia and SMU. And I had this tiebreaker up here. And here we go. Virginia. All I'll do is beat Virginia Tech. Or if Pitt loses. That's it. If Pitt loses,
Pitt has Miami to close out the season.
And Pitt has Miami. Next up, SM beat Cal. You beat Cal, or if Pitt loses to Miami, SMU is in. So SMU and Virginia, it's a Pitt loss or just win their football game. So that is something to kind of teams control their own destiny. Who would have thought Virginia, too, at the beginning of the year would be controlling their own destiny going into this game?
Not a chance. Nobody thought Virginia was going to control their own destiny going into the last week of the season. Is there any way that Miami can sneak in? Or
yes, Miami's path. They have to win. Duke has to lose to Wake Forest, and Virginia Tech has to beat Virginia.
They need a lot of help.
That Virginia Tech, I don't know. Virginia Tech, Virginia, though, it's a rivalry. It's Virginia has 2 wins in the last 2 decades over Virginia Tech.
It's not been a good rivalry for Virginia.
No. Pitt needs to beat Miami, and SMU or Virginia have to lose. If SMU or Virginia lose, and then Pitt needs to win to get in. Georgia Tech, their game doesn't matter because they play Georgia. Virginia has to lose to Virginia Tech, and SMU has to lose to Cal. So that's a tough one. Yeah. That's not even an or. That's an and.
A Cal that has fired their coach, by the way. Justin Wilcox gone.
Hang on. The coach got fired game, Jay. Maybe, maybe. And
Combined with
then
the algorithm, that is a lot
that is a
of
lot of
magic
things.
happening.
Speaking of a lot of magic to happening, Duke still has a chance. They have to beat Wake Forest. Pitt has to lose to Miami, and SMU has to lose to Cal.
The fact that Duke's even in this is wild.
I know it really is. I mean, here's the thing: SMU. I think again, people because of those non-conference losses kind of counted SMU out. SMU doing everything they need um, to get back into this title game. And here's the other thing, Jake. Again, SMU was a group of 5 team 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And now you're talking about them going to back-to-back ACC championships. So, Jay, let's just say UVA and SMU go to the ACC championship game. Okay. Does Miami get in if they beat Pitt?
I think Miami needs help. I think Miami needs one of the 2 lost teams in front of them to lose in order to get into the playoff. But I think that's a possibility. I think they have the best win out of the 2 lost teams with Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And I would not be surprised if Miami somehow scoots in here. But I don't necessarily think beating Pitt will be the easiest thing in the world either. Pitt's got a lot to play for,
No,
and we
they
saw
do.
how they showed up against Georgia Tech. It's going to be interesting to kind of monitor this situation because I don't like. I think if everything holds steady, Miami is left out. But if Miami gets some help and a couple of those 2 lost teams lose, all of a sudden Miami's in.
So, Jay, I have a question. Again, we record Monday nights, but where was SMU ranked last week?
I don't know that they were. I don't know
They
that
were
SMU is ranked right now.
um
No, they were unranked
25th.
last week. Were they ranked?
Oh no, maybe they weren't.
I have it as unranked.
You have it as unranked. What if they win? Are they gonna leave the ACC champion out?
No, because then they would have to put 2 Group of 5 champions in. Is the only way that the ACC champion gets left out. Because if you win the championship, you're one of the top 5 ranked champions. You're in.
You
And
have to go.
I don't see any way that they rank both the American and presumptively again James Madison. Yeah, I don't think they have 2 Group of 5 programs ranked. Now, if Duke is the program that somehow makes it to the ACC championship and Duke somehow wins that championship, I might have James Madison and the American over Duke.
And then ACC gets left out.
ACC gets left out. That's the scenario. And it's a far cry for Duke to even make it. But that is the only scenario I see the ACC getting left out. Because I think if you have Georgia Tech, Miami, Virginia, SMU, any of those teams win that conference, the ACC will have a champion in the playoff bracket.
And Jay, like, man, here's the other thing. And I guess we should really hold off on this till later because this is all speculation because the table isn't fully set. But you also have to think like, okay, let's say it's SMU Virginia, okay? SMU wins, or it doesn't matter who wins. Let's just say Virginia wins. Can Miami then get in and then SMU be out? And then the ACC championship game is pretty much a playoff game.
Yes.
Right. And then Miami's hoping for help.
Miami's hoping for help, but I think if you have like somebody who's way down the line, like an SMU or a Duke, sneak their way in, I think that takes away a spot from a Miami, right? I think that takes a spot away from one of those teams.
Really? So you think the ACC champion would have precedent over Miami?
I think it moves Miami down the list just by nature of the conference.
We would have to look at head to head. We'd have to look at all these other variables. As of right now, let's just say chaos is brewing for the ACC. Total cannibalization here. Big 12, Texas Tech, BYU, pretty much barring
Texas Tech, yes. BYU, based off where they are, it kind of depends on how that game goes in Arlington.
Yeah. Okay. Big 10, USC has been eliminated from contention. Hey, good. You had a good run. It Jay, here's the other thing. People said about the expanded playoff going to 12, it would make the games matter less. Like, okay, I understand some of your big time matchups, but USC had 2 losses and they were still fighting for the playoff.
Yeah.
Like
that Oregon USC game does not matter as much if we don't have a 12-team playoff.
exactly. Exactly. And we're, Ohio State and Indiana still locked in. Oregon looks good, barring anything with Washington this
If
week.
Oregon wins out, they're in.
Michigan has a playoff game. Michigan
Yep.
has a playoff game on Saturday. And the SEC, A&M, Georgia, Bama, Ole Miss, Texas, Oklahoma, I think all are in the mix right here.
Texas is going to need some help, I think, just with 3 losses.
They
Like
have
they have to win, and I think they also need some other teams to lose.
Okay.
And fall out of that 2-loss range. Oklahoma, I think if they win out, they're in. I think with the win over Mizzou, you go into the last game of the season. I mean, LSU is not an easy opponent by any means, but they're not the LSU that we're used to talking about in the SEC. But I think A&M, Georgia, Bama, Ole Miss, all in, barring disaster for Bama. I think Bama's the only one that can lose and be out. Because Ole Miss is sitting there with 1 loss. Georgia's sitting there with 1 loss. I guess if they lose, they could be out too. But they still have the SEC championship path. A&M, I think, is the safest position of any of these schools, which is wild to say.
Yes. And then Notre Dame.
Same thing. Notre Dame feels like they're in no matter what, barring a loss.
Oh, yeah, barring a loss. I was going to say they got to beat Stanford.
But, it's Stanford.
Yeah. Hey, they did just win.
We'll see.
Again, we've said before, Conference USA and MAC definitely out. Mountain West. No,
I don't think it happens.
It's not going to happen.
That title race is going to be fun to watch here at the end.
It is.
But it's not going to be relevant to the playoff.
Which will be San Diego State and UNLV?
Well, Boise State's still in there.
Yeah.
And really, really fun game to close out the Mountain West slate. You have New Mexico taking on San Diego State. So New Mexico is sitting there with 2 losses in conference. I don't know what the tiebreakers are, but currently San Diego State's at the top of the conference with 1 loss. Feels like as if they win, they're in. Right. Then you have Boise State, New Mexico, UNLV, all with 2 losses. Boise State, I believe, has head-to-head wins over both New Mexico and UNLV. New Mexico has a head-to-head win over UNLV. So,
dang.
I mean, there's a scenario where Jason Eck and New Mexico are playing for the Mountain West title, which would be absolutely ridiculous. I mean, even being at 8-3 right now is super impressive.
It's huge.
For that program.
Absolutely huge for them. Sunbelt, it's James. We're all talking about James Madison.
James Madison or bust in the Sunbelt.
Yeah, and they are a team that's going to be talked about for the playoff race potentially. And then you have the American here. Tulane, North Texas. We think South Florida. South Florida needs James Madison to lose a game somewhere. Navy, Memphis are playing a big game on Thanksgiving, which we'll talk about. North Texas. It's looking like North Texas, right? Well, no, Tulane is the favorite.
Tulane's higher ranked. Tulane is higher ranked. North Texas has the best record. And I think North Texas, should they win out, is the most no doubt. I don't know, man. Like this is getting pretty crazy here at the end.
It is. Absolutely love it. Jay, before we get into FCS, I don't have it on my sheet, but we do have to talk about it. We have to lay to rest one of our favorite sons at the Get Back Coach for years, Jay. Like for probably over half the time we've been a podcast, almost the full time we've been a podcast, actually. Justin Wilcox has been on the hot seat. And finally, his what's it called? His watch has ended.
Yeah.
At the Calgorithms. He went 48-45. He had 1, 2, 3. Yeah, two winning seasons at the end of the year. He did win a bowl game. His best year is 2019 in 8-5. I think I think they were thinking, I think people at Cal came to the realization this is how Justin Wilcox is going to be with us. It's not going to be terrible, but we're never going to be good.
Yeah.
And I think I I see the justification. It has been 8 years and you have 2 winning seasons.
It's just an unfortunate season to be doing this in.
It's a totally unfortunate. Like, and I think that's what my shock was. Like, you want to go to this recruiting cycle? Like, you waited this entire time. You waited this entire time, and now when it's the most hostile uh, coaching carousel to date, probably ever. Now you want to fire Justin Wilcox? Like, I don't. I hate. I don't. I can't
That's
believe
what
I'm gonna.
happens when you get blown out by a rival, though.
I know. I think that's also it as well. Uh, Man, out of all the years to do it, out of all the years to finally say, you know what, this is it. Oh, Jay, that and I do love the end of that rivalry
Yeah.
with the axe,
The
the
exchange. It's awesome.
exchange. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, look up the Stanford Cal axe exchange. I absolutely love it. Also the Stanford player getting in their face a little bit. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, hey, settle down. I'm like,
All
settle
right.
down, man.
Let's
Someone,
relax.
all right, someone's a little fired up. But yeah, we lay to rest Justin Wilcox. I will remember you. Will you remember me? All right, Jay, talk to us about the FCS.
Yeah, let's get into the FCS because while we have playoff talk about FBS, the FCS playoff kicks off this week. Let's start by going back to last week, though. The game of the week in college football, in my opinion, number 3 Montana State at number 2 Montana. It was a banger. Montana State wins 31-28. Really thrilling game. A lot of back and forth, a lot of punches thrown. Felt like a bunch of momentum swings are happening, and it honestly didn't do too much to change the seeding, but it was still a fun game. And speaking of seeding, let's dive into that. Number 1, North Dakota State, no surprise there. Number 2, Montana State, courtesy of that win over Montana, who's now number 3. They basically just switched places. I think that's fair. Tarleton State at 4, Lehigh at 5, Mercer at 6, Stephen F. Austin, the Lumberjacks at 7. UC Davis is 8. Those are the 8 teams that will have a first round bye. Then you get into the back half of the 16 seeds. Number 9, Rhode Island. Number 10, Abilene Christian. Number 11, South Dakota. Number 12, Villanova. Number 13, Tennessee Tech, who feels like they kind of got shafted with one FCS loss, I believe. South Dakota State at 14, Youngstown State at 15, Southeastern Louisiana at 16. So the Southland gets 2 teams in there, plus unseeded Lamar. The other unseeded teams are Illinois State, Central Connecticut, Harvard, North Dakota, New Hampshire, Drake, and Yale. So the Ivy League gets 2 in the first year of the Ivy League participating in the FCS playoffs, courtesy of Yale's huge win in their game at rivalry week for FCS. Biggest snub here, Jake, Monmouth. Monmouth is out of the playoff after having a great year. 9-3 on the season. They were 8 going into the final week of the season. That's right. They were 8 seed, and they dropped completely out of the playoff with a loss to Albany to close out the year. I think they probably should have been in over North Dakota. If I'm picking a team that they should have replaced, but it's a tough job. I mean, the Missouri Valley and Big Sky make up the bulk of the teams in the playoff. That's just kind of how this goes. It feels like it's always that way. Southland has 3. Let me count the Missouri Valley teams real quick.
It's a lot.
Yeah, 1, 2, 6, I believe.
6 Missouri
is
Valley.
count. Yeah.
Dang, man. You talk about Monmouth, and I'm just kind of looking at their schedule. Okay, you lose to a Division I team in Charlotte by a touchdown. Okay, no shame in that. You 2 or 3 touchdown loss to New Hampshire.
Who's in the playoff?
who's in the playoff. Where are they?
They're not seeded. They
Have a
they
play-in or
won the
something?
conference.
They won their conference.
I can't remember exact. We'll go into the matchups here.
And then Albany, flubbing that game at Albany,
Yeah.
sorry, at home. And Albany, I don't think
Albany's not good this year. They were like
they're not good this year. They've
two,
kind of fallen
yeah,
off.
2-3 wins. Not a good year for Albany.
Oof. And that's who keeps Monmouth out.
That's the way it goes.
That's the way it be sometimes.
Well,
So what are we looking at here?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into those first round matchups. Will be happening Saturday. Illinois State at Southeastern. I do love that for a lot of these games, it's kind of regional, like Central Connecticut at Rhode Island,
I like that.
Harvard at Villanova. This one's not as regional, or the next two aren't. North Dakota at Tennessee Tech. New Hampshire at South Dakota State, which it's wild seeing South Dakota State as a 14 seed, but they kind of faded there at the end of the year. Drake at South Dakota. I believe Drake's in Iowa, so this is kind of regional. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Lamar is at Abilene Christian, so that's a Texas matchup, and then Yale at Youngstown State.
Yeah, Drake's in Des Moines.
There we go. Nailed it.
New Hampshire, South Dakota State. I'm going to guess South Dakota State is going to be a massive favorite. However, New Hampshire usually has a really good offense. I don't know if they're going to be able to stop South Dakota State.
And they're also going to be it's going to be pretty cold in Brookings, I'd imagine.
Probably. I mean, hey, listen, we know the cold in New England as well.
Yeah, but the wind on the plains is a little bit different.
Plains. Well, how is elevation in South Dakota?
Not in Brookings. Yeah, it's flat.
More flat.
You go to the west part of the state, Rapid City.
Yeah,
that's elevation.
Okay. You are my geography expert out there.
I do like those maps, brother.
Listen, I love it. I will be looking at Villanova at Harvard. I'll be rooting for the Wildcats.
Harvard at Villanova. So
Harvard at Villanova. Yeah.
If we have listeners in the Philly area, go watch an FCS playoff game, bud.
Listen, and I know I tailgate with people, and I know they're Villanova basketball people. So I hope if you're a Villanova basketball fan, you're going out and you're supporting the Wildcats in football as well.
Yeah, that Lamar at Abilene Christian game is going to be a real banger for the Texas FCS fans.
I love this. There's a little bit of regionality in these playoffs. Love it.
It's not all the way through, but it is fun. Like the Central Connecticut Rhode Island one.
Illinois. Who is Illinois State's coach right now? Is it still Brock Spack? It is. I will root for Brock Spack until I die. Have I shared this story on the show? I think I have. So I have a younger brother, Jay. You have met. My brother Tyler is a big Purdue fan. He's a Purdue fan because his first ever Penn State game was against Purdue in football. So he had to be different. So then that's how his allegiance started.
Love that.
Stayed with it. Played him again. He had a hat on. Brock Spack noticed him. Brock Spack not only noticed him, but he wore the hat the first time around. Second time around, Brock Spack remembered who he was. And not only that, but also had him jump the cage and bring him into the locker room to say hello to some of the players.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's an awesome story. Like, not only did Brock Spack just say hello to my brother, but remembered who he was. And actually, to make it go even farther, the second time my brother had a jersey on this time instead of just a Penn State shirt. And Brock Spack even said, "Hey, you got a nicer jersey on this time." So I will root for Brock Spack forever just because he took time out of his day to make my brother's day as a child.
Yeah.
So anyway, go Cardinals, baby. Go Illinois State.
Normal Illinois, baby. Should we get into the FBS games for this week?
Absolutely, we have to. Yes, big time stuff going on. And we're going to start on Thursday. We're going to start on Thanksgiving. Listen, we know that NFL kind of rules Thanksgiving. But if you're not an NFL guy, Navy is taking on Memphis with a lot of implication for Navy here. Navy needs to win this football game. Memphis is a 5.5-point favorite, over under set at 57.5. And Jay, I'm going to go with the over in this one. Over 57.5.
Yeah, it's like that USF Navy game where you
Yep.
took the under, and I was like, Navy's been kind of scoring
Yeah.
this year.
Mhm.
I'm also on the over here. I think this is going to be a banger of a game. Should be a lot of fun to watch, especially with the implications.
Mhm.
Obviously, if Navy wins this one, they go to the American Championship game. They'll play in the American, and then they also still have Army Navy at the end of the season. A decision will be made on whether Navy's in the playoff or not before that game happens. So, could get really interesting. But this is going to be a fun Thursday game to go with your turkey and whatever other offerings you have for Thanksgiving.
Yep. And now Friday, Jay, the most underrated day in college football is the Friday after Thanksgiving. And oh boy, do we have a lineup for you. Ole Miss at Mississippi State, the Egg Bowl.
Hello,
This is
Egg Bowl. I got to get
egg.
my Rolf impression in.
Yeah, very nice. I like the Danny DeVito, which I will be tweeting again.
Yes.
The egg. Mississippi State is a 8.5-point dog at home. Over under 62.5. Jay, give me Mississippi State 8.5 to cover.
Give me Mississippi State as well. The cowbells are going to be ringing. They have a chance to ruin. There's a lot of rumors flying around Lane Kiffin right now. Maybe a little distraction in the locker room. Give me the Bulldogs because they're going to be locked in for this rivalry matchup.
This game is always close. It does
It's
not matter.
It's always chippy, always
It
chaotic. Love
That
the
is
Egg Bowl.
hate. Lots of hate. Speaking of hate, we're going to talk a lot about it today. Iowa at Nebraska. Nebraska is actually we have 5.5 on our notes. It's gone down to 4.5. Over under 38.5. Jay, give me the under, and I'm going to pair that with same game parlay Nebraska plus 4.5.
Yeah, I'm just on the under. It's going to be a low scoring game. Going to be interesting to see what the weather's like in Lincoln on Saturday. I feel like that could change things up as well. But yeah, this is going to be a slobber knocker rock fight. Like this is the way football's meant to be played, Jake.
Yeah. Iowa wins, though. Iowa wins by a field goal. Nebraska covers. I know that's a thin line, but come on. Have you seen these games over the last couple of years? Like, it's going to be chaos. It's going to be low scoring. It's going to be good, tough Big Ten football. Give me Nebraska cover under 38.5.
Jake, before we get into this next game, I just want to give a hearty boo. I'm booing this game because it's being played at the Mercedes-Benz.
Boo. Major boo.
Instead of at the Dodd. Yep.
Major boo. Major boo. And did the Dodd give up, or is this – did the Dodd give up their –
Yeah, the Dodd gave up their hosting.
Do you know do we know why?
Money.
Money. It's money.
It's usually money.
Major boos there. Georgia at Georgia Tech. Good old-fashioned hate. Should not be played on a neutral site. 59.5 is our over-under. I have no idea. I don't know. 13.5 is a lot, but is Georgia Tech has to be inspired because of last year. I don't know. I'm staying away.
Give me Georgia.
Ooh, because they gave up their home game.
Yep.
Yep.
Territorial Cup.
Yeah, right? Territorial. Listen, this trophy, Jay, this rivalry is older than the state of Arizona itself. This was, I mean, the Territorial Cup. It was played when Arizona was just a territory. Arizona State is a 1.5 point favorite, over under 50.5. Oh man, I'm not sure. I kind of want to take Arizona in this, but home field, Devils. Give me Devils at home.
Give me Arizona. This is a massive bounce back season for this squad. They had a ton of momentum coming into the Big 12. Didn't work out last year. This year they are 8-3. I believe Arizona State's also 8-3. Winner gets to 9 wins. Would be a massive turnaround for Arizona, and I like the Wildcats to get it done.
Mm-hmm. Can we say, you know what? I'm making an executive decision. We are saving the premier game for the weekend for the very end. You all know which one,
He's
who
making
I'm
me
talking.
sweat.
Yes. So we're gonna skip over, and then we're gonna do Oregon at Oregon State. Or sorry, Oregon at Washington. It should be Oregon State. Oregon at Washington. Washington 6.5-point dog at home. Over under set at 52.5. Washington to cover.
Whoo! I'm going to take Oregon to cover, but strange things happen in rivalry week, Jake.
They do. So but you're still taking Oregon.
I'm still taking Oregon. I just think the Ducks have too much right now.
Okay. Next up, the game. Ohio State at Michigan. Listen, this is a playoff game for Michigan. Michigan needs to win this game. Over under set at 44.5. Jay, the streak will come to an end. Ohio State rolls against Michigan. Rolls.
Yeah, Ohio State's going to have a chip on their shoulder going into this one. They've lost 4 in a row. This is a Buckeye team that is playing incredible defense, and I think that defense is going to carry them. And they're going to make mistakes, or they're going to make Michigan make mistakes. I think it's just it feels like a good thing has been happening too long for Michigan. There's no way Ohio State does the same thing they've done the past few years. And I feel like Ohio State's more physical this year, but they also have the skill position advantage by far, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I take Ohio State to roll in this one.
Yeah. Miami at Pitt. Pitt is a 7-point dog at home. Over under 50.5. Give me Hurricanes.
Yeah, the Hurricanes are going to roll in this one. They're still playing for that title hope. Pitt is too. But Miami just still feels like the best team in the ACC, even though their path to the championship isn't really there without a lot of help. I just think Miami's going to outclass Pitt on this one.
Yeah. Clemson at South Carolina. South Carolina, a 2.5-point home favorite. Over under 57.5. Yeah, who know? I don't know what.
This
what
is
team?
this is the disappointment bowl for the Palmetto State.
Yeah.
Both of these teams expected to be playoff contenders coming into the season. Both of them struggling mightily. Clemson at least is bowl eligible. South Carolina, even with a win, will not be. But by God, did you see what South Carolina did to poor Coastal Carolina? I believe the final score of that game was 50-7 for the Gamecocks. I think they were a little bit upset with how the game week went the week before those Gamecocks were, which when you blow a 27-point lead, I understand the frustration. But I am taking South Carolina in this one. I just, in a matchup of two teams who underachieved relative to expectations, I still think just South Carolina was the better team last year, and I think they'll be the better team again this year.
Under 47.5. I'm going to go under 47.5. Okay. LSU at Oklahoma. Is Oklahoma taking? I guess Oklahoma is taking Texas A&M's place for the last week of the year.
I guess so. I doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I think Oklahoma and Mizzou should actually be this week.
Yes.
Instead, because that is an old Big 8 rivalry.
Wait, and then LSU can play Arkansas.
Yeah, it works out.
Wait, what the?
How about
what are
that?
we doing? What are we doing?
Well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But anyways, Oklahoma's a 10.5-point favorite. I like the under in this one. I think it's going to be a defensive matchup. 38.5 is the under. I don't see either team scoring a lot of points. LSU struggled with West Kentucky last week. We know that Oklahoma's bread and butter is their defense. Give me the under 38.5.
Yeah, I like it too. Under 38.5. Give me that. Under. Oregon State at Wazoo, part 2. Oregon State did win the first matchup 10-7, but the Pac-2 is back for the sequel. Give me Wazoo big time.
Yeah, Wazoo's going to roll in this one. It's tough to beat the same team in the same season twice, especially when I think Wazoo is the better team.
Yeah.
Pretty clearly. Oregon State has struggled so much this year. You lose to a Sam Houston State team that's not any good. You lose to Tulsa. Oregon State's, got some stuff they need to figure out. Washington State's just in a little better spot right now. Give me Wazoo to roll.
Vandy at Tennessee. Tennessee 3.5 point favorite at home. Over under 64.5. Oh man, give me over 64.5. Give me the over to be safe.
Give me the Commodores in this one. The Vanderbilt Commodores
Yeah.
are still playing for their playoff hopes. They may not get in even with a win, but this would be a massive feather in the cap for Vanderbilt and what has been a fantastic season for the squad. To get to 10 wins would be huge. I think if you're Vanderbilt, like it doesn't get much better than that. And you know, you look at this having the chance to get to 10 wins to possibly with some help make the playoff. I like the Commodores in this one. They just have more to play for.
Mizzou at Arkansas. Arkansas is a 2.5 point dog at home. Over under 58.5. I think Mizzou's limping to the finish line here. Give me Arkansas at
Mizzou's
home.
limping to the finish line. Arkansas has not been able to stop anybody on defense. I like the over in this one.
Oh, okay. For the Axe, Wisconsin at Minnesota. Minnesota 2.5 point favorites at home. Over under 38.5. Give me Gophers. I like Gophers.
I'm smashing that under the way that Wisconsin has
Smash.
played here to end the
Okay.
season.
All right. I think I like the under too.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me under. Florida State at Florida. Actually, I do not have a line for this game.
It doesn't matter because this is just going to be a chaos game. We know what it is. Really weird season for Florida State after they start off the year with the big win over Alabama and then just kind of cratered an ACC play. Florida obviously has moved on from Billy Napier. Been a disappointing season for the Gators. Man, this is another one of those games. It's always chippy, always chaotic. I don't know what the line is going to end up being as soon as Jake types it in.
What do you think the line is?
I would say it's like 3.5 Florida State.
Florida is favored by 1.5.
Well, give me Florida State then.
I'm taking the Gators, baby. I'm taking Gators to win. And now, again, another late entry here. Virginia Tech at Virginia. Virginia needs this game. They absolutely need this game. And they are 10-point favorites. Over under set at 52.5. Give me Hokies to cover. Virginia wins.
Hokies to cover, Virginia wins feels like the outcome here. Again, massive game for Virginia. They win. They're in the ACC championship. Nobody saw that coming to start this season. What a turnaround for the Hoos, for the Cavaliers. Like, this is just a massive, massive season for them, no matter how you slice it, no matter how this turns out. But I think they get it done at home against the Hokies.
Mm-hmm. Alabama at Auburn. Auburn, 5.5 point dogs. Over under 48.5. Give me the Auburn Tigers to cover. I don't know if I'm gonna sprinkle it, but I'm taking Auburn to cover.
How wild would an Auburn win here be?
It would be the most Auburn thing ever.
It would be so Auburn, and for that reason, I'm taking Auburn. Money line, Jake.
Ooh, we're sprinkling. All right, Jay. It is time. It is time for the premier matchup of the year. The floor is yours.
So glad to have this rivalry back again. We talked about it last year. Texas A&M and Texas playing each other on Black Friday. It just feels right. So glad to have this game back. But as far as this goes, it's massive implications for the SEC. Texas A&M win and you're in to the championship in Atlanta. If you lose, you need some scenarios to play out, but you control your own destiny for the SEC. You're probably in the playoff no matter what. Texas still has outside hopes at a playoff at 9-3 with a win over A&M. I don't know if they get enough to get it done, but we'll see. Either way, this is going to be a massive matchup between two ranked teams in the Lone Star State. A huge day for the state of Texas in college football. Can't wait to see this one play out. A&M, obviously very good at rushing the passer. That's what makes me lean towards my Aggies, and I have to recognize that I have a little bit of bias here. But Arch Manning, as much as he's improved, still has his moments when he's pressured, where he makes bad decisions. Cassius Howe is one of the best pass rushers in the nation. I expect him to make Arch Manning's life tough. And then I think A&M can just do more on offense than Texas can. Texas has been able to throw the ball. They haven't really been able to establish the run, whereas A&M can kind of beat you both ways. They also have Marcel Reed's legs to power them. I'm going to take A&M in this one. I don't feel great about it because it is a rivalry, but this should be a fun one in Austin.
Jay, I hate that this spread is only 2.5. I hate it so much. And if I was an unbiased person, I would take the Longhorns. But you know what, Jay? I am biased. Damn it. So I'm taking Aggies. I've ridden with the Aggies all year. I've said in the beginning of the year that they were going to be that they're going to be going to the playoffs. And I am going to still ride with them. I'll be rooting for them. Gig 'em, Ags. Woo! Give me the Aggies, baby.
Man, this is going to be a chaotic final week of football, Jake. I have a feeling we're going to have a lot to talk about come next week's episode. In the meantime, do all the things that help us grow as a podcast. Like, subscribe, share, 5-star reviews. Tell a friend. Word of mouth still works. We appreciate all the support that we've had from you over the season. Cannot wait to see how this final regular season week shakes out, to see what playoff games we're going to be talking about, what championships and the conferences we're going to be talking about. There's so much more fun football left to talk about, and we will see you back here next time. Jake, sign off.
From all of us at the Get Back Coach, have a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. Spend time with the people that you care about. Have a wonderful week.